We're in a super sophisticated, high-end Super 8 motel in New Paltz, New York. We no longer have the red brick wall behind us. Cody, the videographer, is not here. Nonetheless, there are important issues to discuss. So, want to know why? Ask how. Howard, the humongous. This Obamacare versus BoehnerCare, John BoehnerCare, as in Reagan Care, as in Bush Care, as in Republican health care battle that has shut down the American government, has brought something very, very unexpected to the fore. It's brought it out of the statistics. It's the fact that in the battle between Obamacare and John BoehnerCare, Republican care, Republican approaches to health care can kill you. Democratic approaches to health care, much as I loathe to jump on the bandwagon of one party and its cliches, Democratic health care can keep you alive. The proof is in the Appalachians, in a belt that spreads all the way across the Cotton Belt and the Ozarks to the Great Plains. Those are Republican states. They voted for the Republicans in the the presidential election of 2012. They have Republican governors. And in those states, in the rest of the world, your longevity, your ability to live longer than your parents is going up year after year after year. But for a small segment of women who do not have medical insurance, women who did not graduate from high school, women who tend to be single mothers, their right to life is disappearing. They are expected to live 5 years less than their mothers. 5 years less than their mothers. What is hacking, cutting, and slicing their longevity down? 2 things. Personal habits. Actually, 3 things. Personal habits, poor diet, lack of exercise, smoking, use of alcohol, and use of drugs. All of these things are contributing to obesity and poor health. A second factor, lack of jobs. In Republican states, implementing the Republican plans that are supposed to get rid of Democratic tax and spend. The states that claim that they encourage jobs. Jobs for those with low skills are disappearing. They are going to India, China, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. Women are left without social services. They are left without a safety net. The budgets for education, the thing that would lift them so they could get better jobs, are disappearing, decreasing. These women's lives are being destroyed in part by their own personal habits and in part by Republican governors, Republican legislators, and Republican policies. A few weeks ago, when I started to research this issue of Obamacare versus BoehnerCare versus killer Republican health care, I didn't understand that there was such a thing as killer Republican health care. And then I discovered something shocking. During the residencies of Republicans in the White House, the cost of health care as a percentage of the gross domestic product had shot up wildly out of control. Under Ronald Reagan, the president we have all learned to love, the cost of health care as a percentage of GDP went up 40%. That's shocking. 40% is appalling. Under George W. Bush, George Bush the Younger, George Bush Jr., the cost of health care as a percentage of GDP shot up 30%. Did we get better health care for this wild and reckless expenditure of money under Republican health care? No. we got the opposite. Our health rates plummeted. We went down to being 27th in quality of health and 27th in quality of health care among advanced nations. The people of Britain, Norway, Sweden, not to mention Japan, live longer lives than we do, and they spend half as much as we do on health care. They have universal health care. They have health care that we call socialized medicine, and they are living longer. They are getting more bang for their medical buck. A quick calculation indicates that if we were to continue, oh, by the way, what happened under Democrats? What happened under Bill Clinton? And what has happened under Barack Obama? Under Bill Clinton, the rise in medical care costs came to nearly a halt. Medical care costs, which had been shooting up, leveled off. And under Barack Obama, the increase in the cost of health care has gone down to half of what the increase was under George Bush. And that's without Obamacare. Is Obamacare going to kill the economy? Well, the Government Accounting Office is rigidly nonpartisan. When it wants to criticize Democrats, it criticizes them mercilessly. And what does it say about Obamacare? As confusing and appallingly ridiculous in many ways as Obamacare can be, what's the long-term consequences of Obamacare? Says the Government Accounting Office, Obamacare will shrink the nation's deficit by $109 billion in the year 2022. And what will happen if we increase our health costs at the rate that Republicans have been increasing them? We will spend 28% of our gross domestic product on health care by 2022. 28%. For comparison, in 1960, we were spending 5.1%. That's less than a fifth of the skyrocket in health care expenses that the Republican policies have bought us. At the cost of our health, at the cost of 5 years removed from the lives of women in the Appalachian states, in the Cotton Belt, in the Ozarks, and in the Great Plains. And what are Republican governors in those very states doing right now? Hacking and chopping at the safety belt and refusing to extend Medicaid. Medicaid, which is supposed to cover the poor under Obamacare, in the very states where they're already killing people, removing 5 years from a life. They want to remove more. Is this something you and I can tolerate? I don't know about you, but I certainly can't. Again, when we're offered choice between Obamacare and John BoehnerCare, beware of BoehnerCare. This is Howard the Humongous speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to try to understand, and it's your job and my job to make. Now, for the usual incompetence without Cody here, I have to see if I can find the off button. Aha! I'm getting better at this.